Movie starts with a boy painting ship on a giant wall. A doctor tells the officer that he will die. Please stop him. But he does not stop and the boy falls and dies. Officer is looking for someone. Then a 13 years old kid, Michele Silenzi, is shown. He is on bicycle. He sees a Spider-Man costume in a shop. He tries to get it but shop is closed. Then he hears voice of a girl, Stella. She was asking her friend whether she will come to the party or not. Then he goes to school and makes videos of Stella. Teacher sees mobile in Michelle's hand. Police officer Giovanna Salenzi comes and asks about Martino Brescia. Martino is missing from home. No one knew about him in class. Inspector was Michelle's mom. She gives him lunch. Everyone laughs at him after she leaves. Blood oozes out of Michelle's nose. He goes to washroom. Casadio annoys him. They took his money. It is revealed that Michelle's father died and Casadio's father is in jail and will free tomorrow. He shoots Michelle with a paint gun. He falls down. Casadio annoys him and everybody laughs. He goes home, looks at Stella's Facebook ID. His sister comes, pushes a lever. A cupboard comes down. It was a bed. Michelle says his friend sleeps here. Candela says he does not have any friends. Then it is shown that he visits a costume shop. He is given a Chinese superhero's costume. He doesn't like it, but he has money only to buy it. He asks about his powers. The shopkeeper says he will find out pretty soon. Scene shifts on Martino's video in which he says he will return soon and he went willingly. Giovanna thinks it's weird and says she will investigate it. Then she returns home. Michelle is ready and sad as he thinks everyone will mock him. His mom compliments him. It is revealed that Michelle's father was also a cop and died while saving people. He goes to the party where Casadio and Brando shows his video to all on the wall, which he has made of Stella. Stella asks him if he really made these videos. Michelle runs and hides in a washroom. Everyone comes after him. He says to be invisible and jumps down. He wakes up in the morning and is invisible. He did not know this. His mom comes in room and don't find him. Only dog feels his presence. He goes to school. He shoots at teachers with Casadio's paint gun. Teachers angrily leaves classroom. He goes to Casadio's friend Volpe who was playing tennis. He annoys him. He can't play well. His father gets angry at him and tells him to go home by himself. He warns him and he goes away. Casadio's father scolds him. He forces him in car and takes him home. Then Michelle sees Stella going. He follows her to girl's room. He gets visible there, but he had no clothes. Everyone starts shouting when they see him. His mother says this is all wrong. He can't impress girls like this. Next day, police psychologist George says being alone and feel loser is okay. Class girls annoys him. He gets invisible and runs away as bell rings. He goes to his room, says Candela to leave, but she stays. Unknowingly, he removes hat. Candela shouts. Michelle tells her whole story. She says he is superhero and can help everyone. George was new here to save more kids from running away. Cop thinks kids are doing all this. Michelle is in room when his mom calls him. He undresses himself and becomes invisible. His mom does not find him, gets a call and says she is upset for Michelle. Here Michelle finds out he is adopted. He gets angry and sits on swing outside. Swing was moving fast. Stella comes and sits on the next swing. She asks who is here. Michelle makes a face on sand. He asks, isn't she scared of him? She says no, and her mom has forbidden her to talk to strangers, but he is invisible. Then it's time for her training. She leaves. Michelle sees a blind man who looks at him. Next day, He says sorry to Stella at school. Stella accepts and makes a smiley face. Michelle visits her house invisible. They talk. Stella asks his name, but he doesn't tell and leaves. Candela tells him he should have told his name. He thinks hard. Stella practices ballet dance. Michelle goes to meet her. Stella's trainer goes for coffee. A man comes, hits her dart. She gets unconscious. He takes her when Michelle sees it. He tries hard to stop him. He bites him, but he goes away with Stella. Police comes there. Michelle's mom takes him home. Scene shifts on Stella. Some doctors check her. They say she also is not that. They have to find that. Michelle looks for costume. He finds it in washing machine which has shrunk. Michelle can't wear that now. He tells Candela to wear it, but she does not get invisible. Then his mom gets home. Michelle gets angry at her for washing that costume. His mom calms him down, but he angrily says he knows she is not his mom. The glass breaks automatically by his anger. He leaves. Doctors lock Stella in a room with Martino and Volpe. They hug each other. She says it means they didn't run away from home. Michelle goes near see a man. Andrew comes who says he hasn't kidnapped his friend. Andrew is his father. Michelle refuses to accept. He tells he was born in Russia. One day there was an attack. Few got sick. DNA of some changed and got powers. Army captured them, tested them for years. Few could fly, few moves things with sight. They had a leader division. Andrew was one of them. He was the most powerful as he can read minds. But issue was that they were all getting sick and no one can reproduce. Only Andrew and a girl, Yelena, can reproduce. They started liking each other. Their baby was Michelle. They ran with baby. Yelena stayed to stop them, but they killed her. Andrej took Michelle to Europe. He found Guevina's house for him as he reads her mind. And she was good. Michelle asks, can he read everyone's mind? He says only those who stay near him. Like a fisherman who is thinking, should he call cops or not? Guevina tells police psychologist that Michelle is not his son and don't know how he know this. Michelle tells costume has given him powers, but Andre says he will learn. He erased a memory from Fisherman's mind and he does not remember about Michelle and Andre. He tells him if he wanders around without rest, he will get sick. His mom had the same issue, so they made a suit which works along with powers. It is a special suit. He says to go from here as Division knows that Michelle is here. Police comes there, but Fisherman does not remember anything. George psychologist was also there. Michelle's mom says she has to go to hospital, so he should go home by himself. George says to drop Michelle home. He makes tea for him. Michelle goes to his room and looks at costume given by his father. He wears it. George comes there. They drink tea. He gives biscuit to Michelle, who sees his bite marks on his hand. Michelle now knows George has kidnapped kids. He runs, but all doors were closed. George warns him if he calls cops, his friends will die. Michelle goes in the kitchen and disappears. He throws knives at George, but he survives. He takes flour and spreads it everywhere to locate Michelle, who follows him to room and tells he will teach everything, but Michelle runs away. He meets Casadio. He tells to ride bike and they go. Casadio was angry and tries to beat him, but Michelle was invisible. Michelle shows himself. Casadio gets shocked. Giovanna gets home, gets upset to see all Andrich comes there. Kids try to get out of a wall by helping each other. Stella comes out and hides somewhere. She sees a man in wheelchair. Michelle tells everything about psychologist to Casadia. He says he goes to psychologist as he has ADHD, a psychological disease, which means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Michelle refuses to believe it. Casadio asks how he knows this, but he doesn't say. Casadio is also angry at psychologist. He takes out his new gun, which can aim up to 300 feet. Stella skillfully hides from all guards and reaches tower. She makes a smiley on switches on light. Michelle sees it and realizes Stella did this. He takes Casadio there. Stella is captured and locked in a room. Casadio says he will guard outside and he saves all. Michelle vanishes, enters the main office to see that psychologist. He sees Enrich and Giovanna on screen, who are searching for Michelle. They hear a little sound to know someone is there. He says, "Take me there." Michelle ignores it. He goes to save Stella. He saves all. They are about to leave when Stella says they have to save an old man. She takes them to a place where everyone captures Michelle. Wheelchair old man was also there. He makes Stella unconscious and says he can go in minds. He can control anyone. He had also controlled Stella and psychologist. Michelle vanishes and beats them. But when they put gun on Stella's head, he appears. Giovanna meets Casadio when tells her everything, and Rich says Michelle is not here. As this place will destroy soon, she sees Martino and Volpe there. They save them and ask them about Stella and Michelle. They said they are inside. Giovanna and Enrich go inside. They also rescue psychologist, and suddenly building blasts. Old man tells Michelle that normal people have no life. His mom is alive and waiting for him. Michelle stays silent when they locked Stella in submarine to send her away. Michelle uses his all powers to beat them all on the gasoline and goes to submarine. They come at top of water. Media and police see them. All were happy. Michelle goes to Enrich, who tells him he will remove everyone's memory and leave this place. He does it next day. No one remembers anything. Giovanna is given all credits to save kids. She was very happy at school. They celebrate with a party. Now Michelle knows that how to handle all the stuff, and now no one bullies him. He and Stella becomes good friends. Then Russian army leader Yelena is shown, who was Michelle's mom. Here it is revealed that Michelle had a sister, Natasha, and Rich had put her in bag, so no one knew about her. She was recalling this all and movie ends here.